I'd like to thank Ricky Beard and his dad Lloyd Beard and the family at Southern Bell for supporting high school athletics and our show and providing great food every week for our guests. It's another great, muffaladas. They also do catering, so be sure to call them for catering. If you're a coach or anybody in the Baton Rouge area, they have a big menu to choose from. Before we get back to Tommy Hodson, I want to mention quarterbacks out of Louisiana in the last few years. Tim Rattay, 6 foot tall, 200 pounds, still in the NFL. Runs a 5-flat 40 if he does that. Great arm, great leader, great mind. Sean King, brought Tulane back when he had Tommy Bowden, 6 foot tall. Ran about a 4.6, 4.7 40. Just finished in the NFL recently. Played, I think, 7-8 years. You look now in Louisiana, you got a guy named Michael DeZormo at ULL, used to be USL. The Raging Cajuns, he benches 400 pounds, Tommy. He's 6'1", 220, and runs a 4.45.
I don't know anything about that.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, I can do half of that.
Is that the new age quarter? Is that the lifting weights year round?
It's not the old age quarterback. I can promise you that. I could never do that.
Now we're talking in off the air. You didn't lift weights in off season. That wasn't the thing to do back then.
Well, it was just getting a little. It was becoming popular. I like basketball, and I wanted to play basketball. So
now, if you would have got a D1 basketball offer and a D1 football offer, and Duke said, Tommy, we want you to be a Bobby Hurley, and you can't sign for football too, what hat you think you would have pulled out?
Well, Stanford recruited me, and they said I could play both. I could play football and basketball, and I had a great experience in high school with football, and I didn't. Our team was not that great in basketball, and it just felt like the thing to do was to go to LSU and play football, and so I did, and that I don't regret it for a minute, and I really have never missed basketball. I've enjoyed my whole career at LSU. I wouldn't trade it for the world. So it was super.
Was Stanford the second school? Was it if you had a second school back
Well,
then?
it was Tulane or Stanford. Just Tulane was much better than they weren't very. They weren't a great football team.
Right.
They're a lot better than they are now. And Mac Brown was there at Tulane. So I thought about Tulane for, I don't know, at least a half a minute. But it was mostly LSU. It was LSU the whole way.
LSU, your days at LSU, you were Mr. Heisman or Hodson for Heisman. I had posters. I still have a poster, I admit. I got one of you.
Third grade. Huh?
Yeah, I was junior high, I think, giving out my age. But you had your purple jersey. You played Ohio State home, hot game. Played Ohio State away. Beat South Carolina in the Black Death defense. What was is there a game that sticks out at LSU for you that more than any?
It was a lot.
Eddie Fuller catching the last-second pass.
Yeah, those are all super.
It's Auburn.
Yeah, great memories, and I tell most people most of my memories are what happened in Broussard Hall with all the fellas. That was the funnest part of LSU. But as far as on the field stuff, South Carolina game was a great game for us, and good memories for me. The Tennessee game my senior year that we lost was a great game for me. Broke the school record at the time in a single game. So that was a good personal memory for me. Playing in Kentucky my freshman year was a great game. I got knocked out of the game, came back in, and we ended up winning. And that's where I felt like my teammates kind of rallied around me and said, "This is, your team. We're gonna play hard for you." And but it took me getting knocked out of the game to come back in and kind of take ownership of the team.
What was it like being billed Heisman candidate? You're 20, 21 years old, 22, or whatever age you were at that year, but you market it. Now it's real huge. It was huge then, but what was it like for you when you got posters flying around Baton Rouge for Hodson for Heisman back then?
Well, I'm not as shy anymore, but I was a pretty shy kid growing up, and it was an honor that they would do the poster and try to promote me for the highest honor in the country. It was kind of, that was a tough year. That was my junior year, and that was probably my toughest year at LSU, just because the fans had kind of turned on the team, and offensively kind of turned on us a little bit during some of the home games. So that was probably the roughest year. So it didn't really work out well. And then my senior year was we didn't play well. We had a bad record, but the junior year was probably the toughest year with all the Heisman stuff.
Tommy, we got a caller on line one. Scott. Scott, do you have a question for Tommy Hodson or myself? Scott? Scott, are you there?
Yeah, what's going on now? Hello?
Yeah, you have a question for Tommy
Yes, I'm
Hodson?
here. Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead with your question.
Hey, actually, I was wondering, what are you doing right now, Tommy?
I have an electrical sales company. I sell to Demco and Cleco and Entergy. I sell transformers, circuit breakers on the utility side. I do a little bit of commercial industrial work, but mostly I sell to utilities in the Louisiana and Arkansas area.
And you've been working on a few years now.
Yeah, 4 years. And the hurricanes, every time a
you-
hurricane, they keep us busy during the year. But we're caught up. We're in a slow period of growth. Unlike Katrina and Rita, when they hit, we were in a busy time around the country. So it's a little bit easier now to catch up.
Got a couple of minutes left. I want to ask you about Jarrett Lee, quarterback at LSU, and I'm sure you've seen him play some. You were a redshirt freshman. First game was Texas A&M.
Yes.
At home. You win the game. You're entrenched as a starter. You know, Tommy, redshirt from Central Lafourche, wins the game. Jarrett Lee wins his first game off the bench at Auburn, and then endures a couple of tough road losses. Well, one road loss, Florida, and then the recent home loss, Georgia. Great team, Stafford, Marino. What advice would you have for Jarrett as a young 19-year-old redshirt quarterback? The pressure, that comes along with playing quarterback, playing in front of 91,000 fans. You did that as a redshirt. What would you have say to him?
It's tough when you're a freshman because you don't want to step on anybody's toes, and they're older. The guys that are older they've had a lot of success, and it's hard to take a leadership role. And the quarterback position is you have to be a leader, so you have to kind of pick and choose your spots. I think he would have to pick and choose his spots. He has to be comfortable in his position and be confident that, hey, I'm the best guy. Obviously, the coaches think I'm the best guy. They put me out here. And try to do whatever the coaches are calling on him to do, to be his role, to fit in the role that the coaches want him to fit in, and just go out and not try to do too much. And we all throw interception. When you play quarterback, you're going to throw interception. That's just the nature of the position. That's what's going to happen. And when I was a freshman, we lost 2 games too. And we're going to lose some games. We're not maybe the best team in the country this year. I think at the beginning of the year, most people would have thought we'd win 9 or 10 games. That'd be a great year. Well, we're on pace to do that. We all knew we'd have a redshirt freshman as a quarterback this year, and I think he's done a good job for the most part. I'm sure he's like to take 4 or 5 throws back that he's made, but heck, we all do that kind of stuff, and just got to make the best of it.
Tommy, a couple of quick questions before we go. Meanest guy that you ever played with, was it the late Eric Andelsek? Is anybody as mean as him in the pros?
There's a lot of mean guys, but he was a teddy bear off the field, but he was a tough competitor and a mean son of a gun on the field. Yeah, he'd bite, scratch, claw, do anything to win.
Anybody have better hands than Wendell Davis?
No, he's pretty good hands. Now Ty Kitchen had great hands too, but Wendell Davis, great separation out of the route and great hands.
I know you don't keep up with football in your spare time. You got 2 young daughters that you keep up with for basketball.
Yes. But
just so you know, Wendell Davis' son plays for Arkansas. Wendell Davis Jr.
Wow.
He's a linebacker
I did not know
out
that.
of
Thank you for telling me.
Sweeney, Texas. That's why people don't get it.
Yeah.
But Sweeney's right outside of Shreveport, and LSU didn't offer him. But now he starts for Arkansas as a junior, and he's about 6'1", 220.
Thank you for telling me that.
So appreciate you coming on the show.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate
and you don't leave empty-handed. Here's for you and your wife and your daughters to go eat on us at Corsi Restaurant, Bourbon Street. LSU hat. Got you another one.
I need one of those.
And you got a shirt from us, Louisiana Football TV Magazine. I appreciate you really